Definition: binge eating disorder, or BED, is an eating disorder where you eat a large amount of food in a short amount of time and feel you can't control what or how much you are eating. Binge eating happens for two common reasons: the biological urge to binge and the emotional urge. Binge eating at night. If you especially suffer from binge eating at night, take a look at how your eating behavior is during the day. Are you giving your body enough energy? Ask yourself if you are imposing any restrictions on yourself. Try to let go of those restrictions and give your body what it needs. Speaking of restrictions, it is very important to let go of all restrictions. You've been talking to yourself for months or years that you should only eat healthy things because you probably wanted to lose weight. Cookies, chips, chocolate, or fast food do not fit into those diets. As a result, you have developed a wrong message. To create a healthy relationship with food again, you have to let go of all restrictions. That won't be easy, but when you allow yourself to eat everything, it won't be so special anymore at some point. How restrictions work in your brain. You have two different denials. 1. Physical denial. You don't allow yourself to eat things that make you miss and crave them. 2. Emotional denial. When you eat things that you see as wrong and don't allow yourself to enjoy them, so you miss out on the emotional satisfaction of food when you do eat it. Why do you lose the fight against your cravings or binge every time? Imagine you are sitting on the terrace with a friend and you see that someone next to you has ordered a delicious piece of cake. Your mouth is already watering at the sight of this piece of cake, but you are not allowed to eat it yourself. You agreed with yourself that you really wouldn't eat bad things today. Then a battle ensues in your brain. First of all, the focus naturally goes to the food that you are not allowed to eat. At that moment, a substance is released in your brain called dopamine. This substance forces you to look for satisfaction, and this keeps your brain thinking about the food. But something else happens in your body, namely your blood sugar. Your blood sugar goes down because your body wants to take into account the possible sugar overload that it will soon get. And because your blood sugar goes down, you literally get physical appetite while you may not have had it before. Your self-control is activated, and then you think, no, I can't do that again. I wouldn't eat sugar today. Why do you always lose the fight? For that you have to look at what happens in your body when you have to fight. A reaction is then released in your body that is called the fight or flight response. This is what happens in your body. We outline a similar situation in order to properly explain what you can best compare it to. Step 1. Imagine you are face to face with a wolf. You then have to fight or flee. You experience stress. The moment you experience stress, your amygdala, fear center, is activated. Step 2. Now adrenaline is released. This causes your heart rate to increase, your blood pressure to rise, your breathing to become faster, and your free will to decrease. You become more impulsive. This happens because the moment danger threatens, you don't have time to think about what you're going to do. So it is not at all useful that you think too much in a period of stress. That's why your free will also goes down and you become a lot more impulsive. If we go back to the story with the cake you deny yourself, the moment you see something you really like, dopamine is released. When this substance is released, it forces you to look for food. This keeps you thinking about that delicious cake, so your blood sugar goes down. You get hungry and then you realize again, no, I can't eat that. This is the moment when a battle starts in your brain. Your self-control turns on again and experiences the cake as danger. The battle in your head begins. Your amygdala is activated. You focus on the danger, the treat. Your free will decreases and you become more impulsive. You throw all your self-control into battle and the fight gets bigger. Your impulsiveness grows and eventually you think, fuck it. So the conclusion is that denial actually causes you to go wrong because your amygdala engages the moment you do something bad, want to eat. You see a nice piece of cake. You are not allowed to eat this by your self-denial. Dopamine is released, the substance that forces you to look for food. Your blood sugar drops, this gives you a physical appetite. Your self-control is activated, your brain perceives the treat as danger. The battle in your head begins. Your amygdala is activated, focus on the good. Free will decreases and impulsivity is increased. You throw all your self-control into battle. The fight grows, your obsession grows, but so does your impulsiveness. You lose the fight and end up binge eating. Why is it easy for others to take one? Those people don't make such a big deal of it. They can have something delicious for themselves. They don't think it's bad and don't see it as right or wrong. They can simply enjoy it and thereby fulfill their physical and emotional needs. They are allowed to eat it themselves and therefore do not have to fight in their heads. That's why they don't pass. What happened then? You see something tasty. You like that piece of cake. You don't make a big deal of it, don't see it as right or wrong, and are allowed to eat this of its own accord. Your physical and emotional needs are met. You go on with your day. What was indicated earlier in the video is that you have to go through this. You must allow yourself to eat whatever you want. Your body is hungry. You really don't have to worry about gaining a lot of weight. You may gain some weight in the beginning, but in the long term you will develop a normal eating pattern and your weight will stabilize. It is very understandable that you are afraid of gaining weight, but remember that the diets you have tried in the past have led to this result. Those diets and restrictions are the result of where you are now. If you can start to see your restrictions as the problem, then you will really succeed in building a healthy relationship with food and finally becoming the version of yourself that makes you happy. If you want to learn more about what starvation can do to you, watch the video about the Minnesota starvation experiment. This study shows very well what happens to your body when you starve yourself or go on a strict diet. Now let's talk about the emotional part. You may also be trying to make yourself feel better by eating. You must learn to feel your feelings. For example, if you've had a bad day and you're eating to make yourself feel better, it's a sign that you're avoiding your feelings. It can be very difficult to really feel your feelings, and it is not easy but very important. It could all be different feelings that make you feel the urge to eat. Anger, feeling sad, boredom can also lead to emotional binge eating. If you find this difficult, you can also try doing a guided meditation or write down your feelings in a booklet. Accept your feelings. There are often multiple factors that lead to binge eating. You must know that you are not alone. If you have the feeling that you cannot solve it alone, it is important to seek help from an experienced expert/psychologist or professional. In any case, it is very important that you confide in someone and talk about it. It's really nothing to be ashamed of. You can do this. Check my account for more videos and tips.